Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time on this channel, you're welcome. I am A.H.P. I'm an author and I also do business. Now today's video is basically for that part of my channel where we talk about real life issues. Okay, so today I'm just going to share with you again something that God laid on my heart. He said, get your house in order. Get your house in order. Now, if you notice, there's different things happening around us every day, and if you are not prepared for them, you end up getting caught unaware. But if you're prepared for it, you will not be caught off guard. And even if it doesn't happen, at least you know that you're prepared. And if it does happen, you know at least you are okay. You and your household. If for those of you who have family members, your immediate family, like you, your spouse, your children, at least you know that you'll be okay. All right. So when God said, get your house in order, I was just like wondering, what does it mean? Like how, you know? But I thought of it this way. Maybe there are things that I haven't got put together, you know? What have I not put together? What have I not gotten that I would need in case of an emergency situation? So I started looking at, okay, I've got food, but I need another freezer. I've realized that I need another freezer so that I can stock up enough meat. Okay? Enough meat, enough seafood. All right? For us to eat, so that in case there is emergency that has to do with food, at least we'll be okay. And then I noticed that during the summer holiday, we've eaten most of our supplies. So I need to replenish those things like snacks, things like ingredients that I would need for main meals. I need to replenish those. So this week I'm getting some money, so I need to go and stock up on those things, even our emergency supply, because I have like what we use every day, and then I have our stock pile for emergency purposes. Okay, and I've dipped into our emergency supply, so I need to go and do that, like restock up on that. Then I realized that, you know what, my electricity is good, and I've got solar system. However, I cannot rely just on my electricity to keep us in the winter, because it's going to cost us more money to be topping up, especially if we're going to use it for both light and heating. Okay, um so part of getting my house in order means that I need to have my gas supply sorted. Now, since we moved into that house, our meter has been giving me the most trouble. And I found out that I'm on the main road, guys. Um, I found out that it needs a replacement. Okay, so part of getting my house in order meant that I had to call the supplier and have them come to look at it tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow, and then if they can sort it out, they'll sort it out. If they can't sort it out, it means that they'll have to give me a smart meter, which works out really well for me. Okay, so I'm able to top up my both my electric and okay, see, that's the message from them. Um, my electric and my gas from home from my mobile, because it's smart. It's smart rather than having to go out. So in case of emergency, like if it snowed or if the shops were closed and were only open for certain hours, like it was during the pandemic, I would still be okay because I would be able to, as long as I've got money in my account, I'll be able to top up using my um what's it called, my tablet or my phone. Okay. um Another thing that, you know, another part of getting my house in order meant that I needed to get supplies for my children. So I have to I have to stock up on, you know, toys for them, activities, not just toys, but because they've already got toys, but activities that they can do. So I had to get things like, I have to make sure that I get more paint, more craft activities, more um, stationary activities, more colouring in books and reading books, um, more writing books as well, so that if they have issue with school, at least they'll be at home, they'll be occupied, they'll still be learning. Okay. um because the UK schools, some of them, 60, I think 68 or 69 of them have had to close down for renovation because of wreck of how they were built. Basically, the bricks they used weren't hard enough, strong enough, so it could collapse on children. So they've been closed for renovation. So it could happen to any school, and is not the only issue. Even during the pandemic, we saw that schools were closed, or even if it snows, because it snows in and you can't what's it called? You can't send your children to school. You have to have things for them to do. Otherwise, they'll be bored. So that's part of getting your house ready, like in order. You have to make sure that you have everything that you need at home. You know, everything that you need, especially for at least a month or two or up to 3 months. But most times they say up to 6 months. You know, have supply that will last you at least up to 6 months should any emergency occur. Okay. And another thing that I had to do as part of getting my house in order was to make sure that any repairs that needs doing, I get on top of it. You know, I buy the things that needs to be bought to have my house repaired. So I'm looking at buying paint. I'm looking at for my house. I'm looking at buying replacement floors for my house. I'm looking at buying boxes for our in-house office, okay, our home office. I'm looking at buying more supplies as well for my business, my home-based business, okay, because you may not be able to get stock readily available, you know, should an emergency happen. Like during the pandemic, you had to wait for supplies at least for a week, sometimes 2 weeks, before you can get your order from, even if you ordered from online, you had to wait. So you want to have at least enough stock. If you're a business person, you have to you want to have at least enough stock to last you a while, okay, so that you're not losing money and you are not disappointing your customers. And another thing that I had to make sure that I have in place is medication and emergency treatment supplies, things like plaster, things like bandages, things like painkillers, things like paracetamol. Because in the UK, I don't know about everywhere else, but in the UK we had an issue where there was no antibiotics. That's another thing that I need to have in stock. There was no antibiotics. Parents literally had to be going from one town to another to try and get antibiotics to treat themselves and their children. So that was an issue. So I have to make sure that I have extra medication for myself and for my children, and painkillers and plasters and things like that, you know, have them in the house. It's not that we want to be ill, but it's good to be prepared, you know. And then another thing that we have to be prepared for in getting our house in order is making sure that you have enough warm clothes, enough beddings, enough warm clothes, because we're getting into winter and you don't know how cold it's going to be, because the weather has been crazy. You don't know how cold it's going to be, you know. I'm not into all the climate change issues, whatever. However, the weather has been crazy. And then not only is the weather sometimes weird, I've already arrived at my allotment plot, so I'm trying to get in. Okay, so bear with me. I'm trying to get in. Yeah, so that's not the only issue, but in case there's emergency, especially because if you have extended families as well, and they may have emergency in their own city, and they may have to come and stay with you for a bit. Like, for example, I have family members who live in London, and Southampton, and Scotland. If there was an emergency where they had to come and they had nowhere to go because they were facing emergency of some sort in their city, I want to be in the position where I can say, you know what, come and stay with us. We have enough beds, we have enough beddings, we have enough food. That's another reason why I even need to get another freezer, because I want to be able to stock enough food in case my extended family, has to come and stay with us for a while. Like, we have enough room, but we have to have enough supplies for them. I don't want to be giving them the side eye, like, why are you eating out all our food, or why are you drinking out all our drinks, and you know, and have enough supplies for them, or even be able to post out supplies to them. You know, I have family in Uganda and in Rwanda as well. So part of having my house in order, is to make sure that I have even enough supplies for them, even if those of them that live in another country, even if they can't come to live with us in the UK, at least we can send them some form of relief, whether it's finances and also supplies, you know. You see, I need to get a wheelbarrow. Okay. To get a wheelbarrow, and now I need to get a spade. To get some mulch, and I might need a hoe as well because I left my hoe at home. So that's that. Those are the tools I need. And I've already got some scissors for if I need to cut anything down. And then I've also got some planting pots if I do any harvesting, because I need to take my planting pots back home. But yeah, you know, getting your house in order means get everything that you need. And also, for those of you who you know, don't have emergency funds, it means having some money, having some cash at home. I had to get a safe to put some money away at home in case, you know, the bank fails us, because the banking system. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, and you?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yes.
Did you check your email? We've got
What's that?
we've got the, what's it called, inspection on 27th.
Okay.
Yeah. They said just make sure that you've done something. It shows that you've done something.
Oh gosh, I've done loads.
Yeah.
There was a field last year.
I know, right? Yeah, so that's
Yes.
basically it. So just
Yeah.
make sure that
But I don't think you should be too stressed about it.
yeah, but it's not the lady that does it. This, you know, Sue. It's not her.
No.
Who's
Checking?
It's
No.
she's with them,
Yeah.
but it's not her who's hard. You see, it's a person who comes with her to
Who
do
is
the
that?
is I
that
think it's
John?
Julie.
Julie?
Julie or Joe, one of
really?
them. Yeah,
And
that's the hardest one.
And what do they say? Have they said anything to anybody though?
Oh, they threw me off. They threw me
really?
off. Yeah, they threw me off my allotment, and they didn't tell me.
Well, when?
That was, you know, the last inspection we had.
Well, I don't even know when that was. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
Yes.
They basically evicted me, even though I had planted, and I explained to them why my plot is really, really bad.
But you've just started.
And all of that. But because the soil is bad, so anything I plant on
Of course
there
it's gonna
is
die.
dying. Yeah,
Yeah.
is dying. So yeah, they threw me off. So I had to appeal. I was like, that's not fair.
You're
I've
joking.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
But can
it's-
they do that
no,
though?
it's just,
yeah, they can.
just people. It's because they can't get real jobs in high
So they
positions.
decide to control everybody on the
like to
other
control
hand.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
then you only had it when the plot.
only 6 months. I've only had it 6 months. Yeah.
What's the point giving you? That's not really giving you much of a chance. Is
No,
it?
no.
Sorry, you're Michelle, aren't you?
Anne.
Anne.
Yeah.
You look like a Michelle.
I
It's
know.
Philip.
Hi,
Husband
Philip. You're
Philip.
right. Yeah.
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 So, oh.
Yeah. So just if you do get any notice, you can appeal it.
Oh,
Don't
really? Who
don't
did you appeal to?
to the owners of it. Just send them an email,
Oh,
Joe.
like, oh, really?
Yeah.
What, the owner? Who's the owner?
The people, the council that runs
Ah,
it.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Just send them a message. If you do get anything
Yeah.
that is not fair,
No.
just send them a message and say,
they
you know
will.
what, it's not fair.
But so what happened? They sent you an email to say you're out.
No, I chased them up because I wanted to pay for my allotment, and then they were like, "Oh, on our database it says that you've been evicted," and I was like, "What?" I didn't get that email, and I didn't get a letter.
But
So,
no, so you're
and
not.
and I said, "On what grounds have I been evicted?" They were like, "Oh, because you had non-cultivation." I said, "No, you can't say I've had non-cultivation. I've planted roses. I've planted my herbs. That is surely cultivating."
Yes.
And I've planted rhubarb that hasn't grown. I've planted
Well, yeah, they can't.
things
In
that
6
hasn't
months, you can't see
exactly.
anyway.
I've planted
Takes a
beetroot
couple
that
of
has
years.
died off
Yes.
It takes a
Yeah.
couple of years
because
to
the
get
soil
stuff.
is so bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Ages to get
Ridiculous.
stuff.
so and then they were like, "Oh, okay, we'll give you another chance. Just make sure
Like they're
that
doing you a favor.
exactly."
It's not even their land anyway.
Yeah.
Council.
They were like, "Oh,
Useless.
we'll give you another chance. Just make sure that you're on top of your allotment." I said, "I'm there 3 days a week."
Well, exactly.
Apart from when it's during the holiday, I've got a child at home. I've got other
Yeah.
fun things to do with them. So yeah,
Oh dear.
yeah.
Oh, well.
So just make sure.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay,
I thought that
okay.
didn't happen.
Yeah,
Oh, that's really bad.
yeah, it is. All right then. See you later. Bye.
Better not start on me.
In it.
I'll open the gate for you.
Okay, then.
Okay.
So that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next. Oh yeah, make sure that you have cash at home, and that is basically it. Now I've got to go because it's beginning to rain. It's beginning to rain, and I've just got here. So, see you guys in the next video. Bye.